what really I think sets it apart is the epic nature of the film's visuals. And in All Quiet on the Western Front, all the battles they basically feel and look the same. But in 1917, every action sequence is very different and very visually unique and interesting, and sets itself apart from the previous one. And first of all, you got to start with the trenches. They built almost an entire mile's worth of trenches for that film. And the trench work is incredible because with Western Front or any other traditional movie, you can get away with using the same trench areas with different shots and angles to make it look different, but you can't do that with a long take. So they actually had to physically build these trenches in 1917, and to build almost a mile's worth is just unbelievable. But then you have incredible set pieces like the bunker explosion, and then you have that beautiful night sequence in that destroyed town with the flares overhead illuminating everything in the incredible shadows and in the depth. And then you have that river shootout, and then you have Schofield going down the river, and then you have that beautiful forest with the soldiers singing for the other soldiers, and then you have that show-stopping, huge charge sequence. I think the strength of 1917 is how the film visually evolves and changes from sequence to sequence to keep you, I think, stimulated and to keep it from feeling repetitive in any way, shape, or form. I thought it was really magnificent what they did.
I concur.
At the end of 1917, I was weeping because Schofield, he has to walk through the hospital area, the medical bay, and we're seeing all of the men who are being amputated, have been amputated, who are suffering. It's just beds and beds and beds, and also lots of dead soldiers. And then just seeing that after everything that Schofield had been through, like I was weeping, I was crying. And then when he had the talk with Blake's brother, I was just like an absolute mess. And then also Blake's death was horribly tragic. I cried. I was like an absolute blubbering, sobbing mess during that scene as well because of how surprising it was, and Blake showing compassion to the German soldier who they pulled out of the crashed plane, which was on fire, and out of the compassion of his heart, because Schofield was like, should we kill him? Blake was like, no, just get me some water. Something like compassion will get you killed in wartime, and you thought the scene was just so shocking to see. You thought Blake was going to make it through. You thought he was going to be there with Schofield the entire film. And then seeing him just get stabbed and then slowly bleed out, the long take was so affecting. Also, they literally digitally color corrected his face to make it paler and paler as seconds passed by. And so he was just completely ghost white by the time he died. It felt so visceral and so real. I think it's one of the most affecting movie deaths I've seen recently. But for me, I think 1917 really pulled the emotional stakes for me. I really felt it.